Hello, everyone. I now call this regularly scheduled City Council meeting to order. Today is Thursday, October 17th, and 7 p.m. Tonight's invocation will be given by Darrell Bailey with First Methodist Church, and the U.S. pledge will be given by Councilman Castro, and Texas pledge by Richard Garvey. Councilman Garvey, please stand.
Let's pray. Oh, Heavenly Father, first I want to acknowledge that there is nothing or no one above you. You are Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I pray a hedge of protection and divine wisdom over our mayor, city manager, councilman, and council lady, and all who are involved in today's meeting. I pray that we, as leaders, remember to lead with integrity and boldness. I ask you, Lord, to heal our hearts and renew our minds. Help us to recognize that you want to send revival to Alvin, Texas. Help us to align with your will and get out of your way, and you will get all the honor and all the glory. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Alrighty. Next, we have administering the oath of office to newly appointed Associate Municipal Judge, Court Judge Pat Monks, officiated by Alvin Municipal Court Judge Mo Ginham.
Preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state. So help me God.
All right. Thank you, Judge. Congratulations. Next, we have a couple of proclamations. The first one is the Alvin Police Department Chaplain Week of October 13th through 19th. And the second one is the Municipal Court Week, November 4th through 8th. You gonna come up? Come on. This thing on? All right. Who am I talking to here? Alrighty. Whereas the Alvin Police Chaplain Program, celebrating 20 years since its inception, has faithfully provided ministerial care and support to Alvin police officers, their families, and community members during times of trauma, injury, illness, and loss, and whereas Chaplain Week is an opportunity to honor the invaluable contributions of the dedicated chaplains who offer spiritual guidance, faith, and emotional support during police-related critical incidents, helping officers and their families cope with crisis, loss, and grief, and whereas Alvin Police Chaplains serve selflessly as a vital part of the Alvin Police Department's exceptional team, providing exceptional service, making a difference every day. Now, therefore, I, Kiko Moore, as Mayor Pro Tem of the City of Alvin, Texas, and on behalf of the City Council, do hereby proclaim the week of October 13th through 19th, 2024 as Alvin Police Department Chaplain Week.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Smile
Thank you, guys. Who's taking this? You taking this? Thank you, ma'am. For the help. Thank you very much. Now to the next one. Can we get the municipal court staff up here? You're up. Thank you, Judge. Alrighty. Whereas municipal courts serve as the foundation of local justice, ensuring the fair enforcement of municipal ordinances and state laws, thereby protecting the peace, safety, and well-being of our communities. And whereas municipal courts handle the largest number of cases compared to any other court system, making them the most immediate and accessible judicial forum for citizens and non-citizens alike, providing crucial access to justice for all. And whereas municipal judges, clerks, and court staff are dedicated professionals who work tirelessly to uphold the principles of fairness, impartiality, and justice, playing a vital role in maintaining public trust and confidence in our judicial system. And whereas the Alvin Municipal Court remains dedicated to delivering fair and impartial justice to all of our citizens, now therefore I, Kiko Moore, as Mayor Pro Tem of the City of Alvin, Texas, and on behalf of the Alvin City Council, do hereby proclaim this week of November 4th through the 8th, 2024, as Municipal Court Week. Thank you.
One more, if y'all will scoot back a little bit. I see. Okay, ready? One. Hang on, let me at least take my needle off. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Take a couple. Okay, let me take a few more. Ready?
Okay, no more. Gotta get the paper.
Alrighty. Next, we're moving on to Municipal Court Annual Departmental Presentation. One more time for Judge Mo. The Judge Mo Show.
I'm gonna do this with Sonia. Obviously, you guys know that we try to be like a two-headed monster here in the court. So, first of all, I want to thank Mayor and Mayor Pro Tem and City Council for all the support you guys always give the court. Yeah. So obviously, you guys know that we try to do a lot here in the court, and we're going to try to do just a quick presentation about some of the accomplishments that we've done this past year. So we'll get right into it.
Is it on? It's because I didn't use my head.
Nick,
Well, Nick.
there you go.
Which one is it?
Thank you, IT.
On the side?
Yeah, just push that button right there to keep
Oh,
going.
okay.
So the first thing we did as a court, we implemented some advanced solutions and automation to streamline our operations and kind of boost our efficiency. So if you guys have ever want to come to the court, you're always welcome to. I think Dixie's come to the court a few times, and so we try to run a very quick and efficient court. So as a matter of fact, most people get their orders right here within 1 minute of coming up to the bench, and so we're very proud of how quick and efficient the court is. I mean, sometimes we handle 50, 60 people in less than an hour, so I'm very, very proud of how efficient we are as a court. That says that we are 2023 Municipal Traffic Safety Initiative Award winner. This is true. We are also the 2024 Municipal Traffic Safety Initiative Award winner, so It's supposed to say 2024. The good news is we won it last year and this year, and I'm very proud of our clerks. And
Just the past 9 years.
just the past 9 years. So, um, I want to talk a little bit about Maria, one of our deputy clerks. She's achieved her level 2 certification. That's a very important accomplishment. She should be very proud. We're all very proud of her. And Stacy Hernandez also has achieved her level 1 certification. I'll tell you, our entire court is a certified court, and all of our clerks are certified court clerks. 3 of them are multi-level certified, and obviously Stacy's
currently.
preparing for her 2nd certification. So yeah, I've practiced in a lot of courts. There's a lot of courts that don't have any certifications for their clerks, and I just think that that's a shame because, you know, the law is changing monthly almost when it comes to this very niche type of law, and I'm very proud of our clerks for keeping up with their education, and more importantly, I'm very proud that we have great leadership that allows our clerks to continue their education.
And supports it.
That's right, and supports that education. There's a lot of cities that don't do that, so we want to thank you guys for that as well. I want to talk a little bit about Sonia. She is,
No, that,
I'm sorry, Samantha. Samantha is also a deputy court administrator selected by Tyler as a member of the Court Leaders Advisory Board, which is a very important distinction. I'll tell you, I don't know exactly what she does there, but a lot of it is teaching other clerks how to be clerks. And I mean, I'll just say it, you know, the city of Alvin, you know, our court, we teach Texas. We teach a lot of Texas courts, both JP courts, both JP. We teach a lot of courts, like both JP courts and municipal courts, how to be courts, how to be clerks. And so Samantha's taken a leadership role there, and we're very, very proud of her for that. I'll tell you, Sonia was also elected to serve on the Texas Court Clerk Association Board of Directors, which basically gives her more responsibilities than she already has. But I know that she can handle it, and obviously, you know, we love her in those leadership roles, because anytime we have our clerks and myself in leadership role, I think that's just representative of the city, and obviously that's what we strive. We strive to represent the city in the best possible light. So I think, let's see, what did Pat say a little while ago about our court? Sure, you can say it. Come on up, Pat.
Now, I'm associated with 5 other, well, more than that, 8 other courts, and I would say Alvin is a real trailblazer, you know, and I'm not just saying that because I'm here and I just got appointed, but I don't know, other than my participation in court, I would say that we have followed right down the street in Manville, trying to get our safety award. We only got honorable mention, but we tried the best we could. But that Alvin has been a leader, you know, in the municipal court association, you know, and it's well known. So
Yeah.
I'm proud to be part of this. I really am. I've been looking forward to it for a long time.
We're glad to have Pat. Obviously, he's got a lot of experience. You guys met him a few weeks ago. I think we've been seeing each other a lot lately, just because there's been so much new activity in the court, and I really like the makeup of our court right now. I think that we're positioned, you know, just for the future, and so again, I'm very, very proud and very happy of the makeup of the court right now. Finally, I want to talk about Sonia one more time. She served as a panelist with Tyler Technologies to teach at the conferences, and so obviously when we go to those Tyler conferences, she teaches at those conferences. She roped me into this as well, so I'm going to be teaching at the next conference as well. Like I said, you know, that's right. We really teach Texas, you know, and so we are leaders in that regard, and I'm very, very proud of that. So next, we're going to talk about training and community outreach and some events. And I'm going to have Sonia talk about that because she's really a leader in that field.
Okay, some of the items that you see listed, we have partnered with PD, and we work with Lieutenant Gilcrease on SABA, and that's the Self-Aid Buddy Aid. And then we've reached out to other cities. They've come over and participated in several events with us, and then Honru and Dixie approved for it to go citywide. So we also have provided training for all the city employees that wanted to sign up and get trained up on Self-Aid Buddy Aid. We also participate every year in the trick-or-treat trail. Shop with the Cop. We put on our warrant resolution, which clears a lot of warrants. Defendants can resolve their warrants prior to without being arrested. We also go to the Nelson Elementary every year. We provide books to the elementary students. We try to hit that before Christmas so they can leave before Christmas break and have some books. Other materials that we give them to have, you know, if they don't have anything at home, or give them something to do. We're also very involved in the Tour de Bras. The court is responsible for all the rest stops and providing the snacks, coordinating, setting up, preparing. Our part takes place like now, and so it takes us several months to prepare for that and make it successful each year. So we also, as Judge mentioned, we do a lot of things with Tyler. One of them, they approached us to go into an hosted environment where it's basically, and Nick, correct me if I'm wrong, we're on their servers, and so everything that would be on an on-prem server is now basically in the cloud. And so then if there's a natural disaster, hurricanes, you know, any type of freeze or anything, I don't have to worry about our data being compromised or anything of that sort, or being hacked, because they have a lot of resources that can prevent that for us. So that has saved, I believe, quite a bit, and as far as expanding our servers to accommodate all of us going paperless and having more of a paperless environment. We also do National Night Out. Patrick's very, very important person, and he will drive us to each area, and we hand out materials, traffic safety materials. We also hand out some of PD's merchandise, so we can, you know, kind of get within our city and provide some nice stuff. So we also partnered up with EMS, and we provided CPR training for other courts, bailiffs, people within their PDs, and then we also did one for all the city employees so they could get that type of training. So we try to do as much as we can, not only for our employees, but for those around us.
Moving on, we'll talk about some of the statistics. This year, we've cleared 1,543 warrants. We issued 1,390 warrants. There were 4,841 citations processed. Remember, each one of those citations processed has to run through our court system. We have had about 1,600 compliance dismissals and 3 animal seizures. And those animal seizures are been coming at us fast and strong recently. As a matter of fact, I think the last animal seizure we had livestock, reptiles, a goat, a turtle, cats, dogs, I think even a betta fish. We did lose the betta fish, that's right. So, and the goats and snakes and stuff. So this is new to us, but I'll tell you, I think now we've got the seizure hearing down. You know, we did our first couple. We didn't know if we were doing the right thing. Turns out we are doing the right thing. We got a lot of shout outs from the SPCA that we're doing kind of what we're supposed to be doing in terms of procedure and applying the law appropriately. And so I'm very proud that we've taken like this new challenge, and I think that we've been able to conquer that fairly easily. So
We saved a lot of lives.
yes, we did. Yes, we did. Not that betta fish though. So.
Well, the betta fish. He was on his last leg.
So we have some completed projects. We switched our payment system to Tyler Payments. One of the reasons why we switched over to Tyler Payments, and in the past people were paying their fees and then they would contest those fees, and the credit card companies were refunding their money. So we'd have an issue where somebody's closed out a case and then 6 months later they get a refund back, and so now we have a case that we closed out. We just lost the funding on this case. Like, what do we do? So we switched to Tyler Payments, and since we switched to Tyler Payments, we've had 0 of those cases that have been disputed. So we've lost 0 money doing that. We've become hosted. Obviously, I think you talked a little bit about that already. We have the court kiosks downstairs, and there'll be one up here, which just makes people accessing the court system very easily and obviously remotely. We've gone to paperless warrants, and those paperless warrants basically give us the ability to like an officer can execute those warrants a lot quicker. There's without going through file cabinets, without having any delays in confirming the warrant either.
With that project, and he helped us and dispatch get that up and running, and it's been, I believe, successful.
That's right. I'll tell you, PD's been great to work with, and you know, I mean, again, we're changing things all the time, and they've just been a pleasure to work with. You know, from Captain Hubbard to Chief to everybody at the jail, and that's right, and Kincaid as well. I mean, they've all been so accommodating to us, and obviously we're all working towards the same goal here. You know. So at the jail, we switched. You know, we're doing all video magistrate now, but we also have done the language line for the jail. So now we have defendants that don't speak, I mean, any language you can think of. We've got a language line for that now. So now we can get. That's right, hearing impaired as well. We had a hearing here one time, hearing impaired. So so everybody knows their rights. Everybody has the same access to justice as Mayor Pro Tem was talking about earlier. That and so we don't let something like, like there's not a barrier to those rights. We've updated most of our judicial standing orders, and finally we've increased all the fines. The fines have not been increased since 2014, so we have increased those fines now just to be more in line with, I think, what like the current practices are. Okay, upcoming projects. Sonia, no, take it away.
Yeah, that would help. Okay, some of our upcoming projects, of course, is our warrant resolution. We are kind of throwing around the idea of maybe having twice, have 2 times a year and offer those extra options for people to come in and clear their warrants. We're still working with IT on our APHIS project. It's nothing on the city side. It's strictly with a Harris County issue, so we're still working on that. But we're hoping in the next, probably soon, that we have that project off our backs. One thing that we're looking at right now is taking photos of defendants at the window and in court, and then having that put onto our warrants. That'll help officers when they're out in the field to be able to recognize that person. Helps with identity theft or any type of issues of that sort. We're currently a beta site for the Tyler Cloud platform, and so that's been a weekly process for the past, like the last year we've been working on that. We're kind of halfway through the development part of it. There's still, for my liking, there's still a lot that I think they need to do on their part, but we're kind of working through some of the difference in opinion, because I want it to be easy and not hard. We're also, as of January 1st, we're required to all provide a juvenile diversion program.
That's really the big topic
Yeah.
this year for municipal courts, is that anybody who was charged, who's a juvenile that was charged with a non-moving traffic violation, they have to go through a diversion program. And a lot of courts are not knowing how to proceed. As a matter of fact, they're all looking, to TMCAC to kind of give them guidance. But I'll tell you, I think Sonia she was a speaker, and she was teaching Matagorda County, both the JPs and the municipal courts there, what that diversion program needs to look like. And so we are way ahead of the curve in terms of preparedness for that program that we have to implement January 1st.
Upcoming, as the proclamation mentioned earlier, we have Municipal Court Week. We're going to have snacks and different little goodies out available in the lobby. If you'd like to swing by, come see what we have. It's going to be a secret until you come by. We're also going to continue on our community outreach. We feel that's important. We love doing it. And so, of course, we're all very competitive, and we're going to enter our 2025 Traffic Safety Award, and hopefully we pull off a 10-year win, but we will. I'm just saying. Do you have anything to add?
What is that, silver, something?
I don't know. We should get silver and gold. But do y'all have any questions for us, or?
Anyone? Can I just say that
comments?
we're a very active court, and we couldn't be as active and successful as we are as a court without leadership from Andrew and Dixie and Mayor and City Council. So we always appreciate the support. And honestly, we feel that you guys really have our back in terms of what we need to accomplish our goals. So I want to thank you guys all for that.
For letting me go with my wild ideas, Dixie and Honor.
Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. I don't know really how you have time to do all you do, apparently. I'll work around the
don't
clock
go
or
to
something.
sleep.
All the
No.
Sounds amazing.
It could be 8 o'clock at night. Hey, I got an idea.
Well, thank you so much for your dedication to service and for representing Alvin so well. Thank you. Alrighty, next we have one public comment from Charles Batty, Texas Hope. You want to step up to the mic?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Charles Batty. I'm representing Texas Hope, formerly known as Alvin Hope Charities. Just to give you a little background on them, we provide Christmas for roughly 800 kids every year at absolutely no cost to the families. We've also added a festival that's absolutely free to anyone that wants to bring their kids out. We do moonwalks and face painting and cookie decorating and hot chocolate, all the good stuff, right? Just something for the kids to get to do. We do that every year at Heights Baptist Church in their parking lot. This year it'll be December 21st. As y'all are fully aware from y'all's holiday festival, it takes money. So Texas Hope is starting to raise funds. We're having a barbecue sandwich sale this Saturday at the Chevron next to Taco Bell. $10 gets you a sandwich and a bag of chips. So anybody that would love to come out to that and support us, we'd greatly appreciate your support. So thank you very much. I'm sorry, it'd be from 11 to 2. And you won't be able to miss us. Texas Hope has a giant trailer that'll be out there. All right?
Thank you very much.
So thank you all very much.
Alrighty. Next, we're going to move on to public hearing. This is a public hearing to receive comment on the proposed annexation of approximately 168.36 acres located near the intersection of State Highway 288 and FM 1462 in Brazoria County, Texas. Begin the hearing now at 7:27. If anyone wants to come and make a comment? Last chance. Public hearing ends at 7:28. Better. Now to the second public hearing. Public hearing to receive comments on the proposed economic development incentive policy for the city of Alvin. The time is 7:28. Public hearing begins. See no one come up? Anyone? Alrighty. Public hearing ends. The time is 7:29. All right, now we're going to move on to consent agenda. Does anyone have anything they'd like to pull from the agenda?
No, sir.
Mayor, move to approve consent agenda.
Second.
Please vote.
Motion passes unanimously. Items approved on the consent agenda are the minutes from October 3rd City Council Workshop, the October 3rd City Council meeting minutes. Moving on, item C, consider the approval of Kimley Horn and Edgeland Group, the top-ranked firm selected through the request for qualifications process RFQ 2401 for professional landscaping services for future city project needs. Item D, consider a 3-year contract with CrowdStrike for Falcon endpoint protection services to be purchased through Datavox utilizing the internal purchasing system TIPS and a total cost not to exceed $64,385.98 for the entire term, and authorize the city manager to execute the contract and all related documents upon legal review. Item E, acknowledge receipt of the quarterly investment report as of September 30th, 2024. Mayor Pro Tem?
Thank you, Dixie. Now on to other business. Item A is final review and acceptance of the Alvin Livable Center study for downtown Alvin development. Hey, Paul.
Thank you so much. Uh-oh. The consulting team of Kimley Horn, which they have a representative here tonight to go over some of the findings from the study. But this has been a several month, actually more of a year-long project where Kimley Horn, through with the city of Alvin, we explored the downtown area and looked at more of the walkability, the parking, the transportation issues that are going on with the downtown area. And so this study, funded through Houston Galveston Area Council, looked at this, and they've provided a result, a fact-finding study on what they recommend for us to take a look at going down the road. Here to present some of the findings from this and kind of a high-level review is Mr. Aaron from Kimley Horn.
Thanks, Paul. Good evening, everyone. My name is Peyton Aarons. I'm a transportation engineer with Kimley Horn, and I've been working with Paul and HGAC to conduct a livable center study for Alvin in the downtown area. I'm just here to present a little bit about the study. There was a report that was provided to you in the council packet. So Alvin submitted an application and received funding to conduct the study from HGAC. HGAC is the Houston Galveston Area Council, and it's a metropolitan planning organization that is it's intended to facilitate regional planning. And the Livable Centers program was created in 2008 with the intent of recommending or identifying infrastructure and policy improvements in areas that allow people to live, work, and play within their cities. I need the clicker. Thanks. So as Paul mentioned, our project began about a year ago, and you could split it into two phases. So in the first phase of the project, we conducted an existing conditions analysis, and we also engaged the public asking about what their priorities may be. And we identified needs. We called them calls to action. And then in the second phase of the project, we came up with recommendations to address those needs, and we brought those to the public to have them prioritize the projects. And then we presented the specific recommendations to council in July of this year. So like I mentioned, 8 major themes emerged, and we named these calls to action. And you could separate those into 2 groups. So on the left here are 4 infrastructure items, like sidewalks, street lighting, signage, and then connections to parks and schools. Those were high priorities for all residents. And then on the right, those are more non-infrastructure policy items that are priorities, such as low-impact development, diverse housing, downtown business, and revisiting past planning documents. So from these calls to action, we came up with projects to address those needs. And the projects, a lot of them are sidewalk projects to address those connections to schools and parks. There's also other location-specific infrastructure projects, and then some area-wide projects like debris pickup. These 4 shown here, these were some higher priority items, and we created renderings of those to illustrate what the improvements look like. We brought that map, the project list, and the description of all the projects to the public in the second phase of engagement, and we asked people to rank what projects they liked. We received over 1,670 votes on these projects, both from in-person engagement and then online. And these 11 projects are what emerged at the top. For the higher priority projects in the plan, we put together a funding matrix that shows what funding sources are applicable to each project type. So in this matrix, you have the projects are across the top. Those are the different columns. And then you have the funding sources. These are a lot of different grant programs, both state, national, and regional funding programs that you could pursue to implement the projects. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them now. And again, we've been working with Paul and the HGAC project manager, Jose. and their contact information's on this slide.
Any questions? No? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming out.
It's a great study.
Hey, do we need to move to approve? Somebody, we need a motion? Yeah.
Sam moved to accept
just-
the Alvin Livable Center study for downtown Alvin development.
Motion
you, sir.
passes unanimously.
Alrighty. Item B, consider resolution 24R30, amending the City of Alvin Personnel Policy Manual and providing for other matters related thereto.
Hello. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Thank you for Mayor Pro Tem and Council. Thank you for being here this evening. You should have before you the amended personnel policy that was discussed in the workshop October 3rd. So our staff has reviewed and updated to stay in compliance with the federal laws and state laws, and also to provide clear guidance on some of the city procedures. And aside from these updates, some significant items that were added were the Juneteenth official city holiday, paid parental leave, and the mental health leave. And we all have already incorporated the changes that were proposed in this policy you have before you. And we want you to, well, the reason for all these changes is we want to continue our commitment to fostering a supportive and inclusive workplace for all of our employees, and at the same time stay within the regulations. And if you have any questions regarding the manual,
No one?
so
Mayor,
For a motion?
move to approve Resolution 24R30, amending the City of Alvin Personnel Policy Manual and providing for other matters related thereto.
Second.
Please vote.
Motion passes unanimously.
thank you.
Thank you. I'd now like to move item G. Is that what you wanted? Right? Was it G? Okay. I'd like to move item G up. Next item on the agenda. And that is consider ordinance 24DD releasing approximately 273.364 acres of land from the extraterritorial jurisdiction of the City of Alvin, Texas, providing findings of fact, containing a severability clause, and providing for other matters related thereto.
Yes, good evening, Mayor and Council. We're moving this up because the attorney who represents the development is here. This is another petition for release from our ATJ. I've asked Mr. Vaughn to be here tonight because this is a good example, or probably the best example, of what the Senate bill and now the law intended by allowing release from ETJ. So you'll see from the very well-drawn map. Thank you. Where this is, and then if Andrew, if you want to come up and tell them what the project is and kind of what might differentiate this from just a 2-acre parcel somewhere that's being released.
Absolutely, and council, very nice to see y'all tonight. Thank you for having me. Andrew Vaughn with the law firm of Allen, Boone, Humphreys, Robinson. Is this on? Yeah, terrible. I can't draw. I can't hold the mic either. There you go. Pursuant to the last legislative session, Senate Bill 2038 allows a landowner to opt out of a city's extraterritorial jurisdiction. And in conversations with Suzanne, we discussed what this project is. This is going to be a 700-acre master plan community that, in my mind, kind of fits the bill for what this law intended, because this 270-acre tract in Alvin's ETJ is part of a mixed jurisdiction system involving the ETJ of another city and unincorporated Brazoria County. So what we will be doing is going into the jurisdiction of another city in its entirety, so we have uniform development standards over the entire tract. So to assuage any fears from council that this is going to be just an unregulated no man's land or without some sort of cohesive plan for a property, really what this will do is actually accomplish the opposite, right? It's going to allow for uniform and regulated development by a city to accomplish that task. So Susanna had worked on an ordinance to release it. I had no comments. I thought it looked fine from my standpoint. So I'm happy to answer any questions that council might have about the development project itself. Other than that, I'm here to assist. it's going to be within the corporate limits of the city of Iowa Colony, Texas.
Oh, no, we're not doing it.
What made you choose Iowa Colony, or your clients?
It was conversations with Iowa Colony. They had done previous agreements with them, and they had developed in that space before. They were interested in sort of having their development standards govern this tract. I think it was advantageous for Iowa Colony given their proximity to the city as well. It's just south of their corporate limits as well, and so it advantageous for them, especially as they look to develop similar parcels nearby. That is either in Iowa Colony's ETJ or their city limits. It's going to allow for more synergy to where if they annex additional land in and they can kind of add pieces, they already know the rules of the game, essentially. So.
Okay.
I think that's a good explanation and a very good point that you're bringing up and everything, but I really, my personal opinion is I don't agree with any of it. Is basically, it's the same thing. Is we're at 1462 and 288. We're over there. We have policies, we have procedures, we have annexations, we have good municipal services here in the city of Alvin, but we're releasing a piece of property and pretty much giving it to the city of Iowa Colony. The next thing is that we're going to just basically move to 500 acres below that, and then we're going to go to 1,000 acres below that, and we're just going to keep on going. Yeah, Iowa Colony's footprint is over there, but that's my opinion on that. I don't agree with the law. I don't agree with the fact that we have to justify or that we have to firm up something, but that's just my opinion, how we're looking at things, and I see that as potential development. That basically, you basically just stated that it's cohesive and it follows basically that whole entire development into that one particular area in two different jurisdictions. Mm-hmm. Meridiana subdivision is in two different jurisdictions, city of Manville and the city of Iowa Colony. So that justification doesn't really sit with me, and I don't agree with that. So that's just my opinion and how I feel about development and exactly about this state law. I don't agree with it.
It's a fair point, council member, and I will say, just given my history with dealing with dual jurisdictions, it does create a little more complication, but I totally understand your point that it is removing extraterritorial jurisdiction really unilaterally. So I understand that point.
Yes.
But even if we vote against it, it doesn't matter.
Correct.
State law, right? Yeah.
Correct.
To be clear.
Ordinance 24.
Opportunity that we get to vote against something that the state legislators did that we don't agree with and stuff. You know, that's, I mean, I'm waiting for that day.
Councilman Dervilla, if it makes you feel any better about me, I was also part of the group that is bringing in the 168 acres that you just voted to annex in or had your public hearing for. So hopefully the tomatoes aren't being thrown at me.
I'm glad that you brought that up because I was going to make a comment or a joke about that, but I was waiting until he hit the gavel and said we're adjourned to make that little joke. I was like, how can we annex property into thank you, sir.
So at least I'm bringing you something as well.
Okay.
All right, let's try it again. Move to approve ordinance 24-DD releasing approximately 273.364 acres of land from the extraterritorial jurisdiction of the city of Alvin, Texas, providing findings of fact containing a severability clause and providing for other matters related thereto.
Second.
Please vote.
Motion passes with Councilmember Vella and Moore voting no.
Because the legislators felt like there was something that we needed to do.
I feel it's appropriate even though you don't have a choice, I feel that it's the appropriate thing to bring this to your attention, to let you know that this is being filed. And even though you don't have, even if you all voted no, it still happens. It's still something that affects the city, and it's still something that you should know is going on.
I would totally agree with that. And then to Suzanne's point, the way that 2038 reads, it actually does put the obligation on the city to immediately remove it from the extraterritorial jurisdiction. And it gives timelines for when that has to occur. But yeah, thank y'all.
Thank you. All right. Where am I at here? Back to, thank you, back to C, right? Okay. C, consider resolution 24R31, adopting the economic development incentive policy for the city of Alvin, Texas, and setting forth other matters related thereto. Is that Ms. Chavez? Oh.
Hi, everybody. Good afternoon, Mayor Pro Tem and council members. We have a resolution to adopt a policy on economic development initiatives within the city of Alvin. And we have to do this every 2 years. So every 2 years, the city must acknowledge that we will be utilizing taxpayer dollars in the interest of business development. So staff recommends approving this resolution.
Mayor, move to approve resolution 24R31, adopting the economic, Mayor Pro Tem, adopting
Wait,
the,
hold on, I have something to say.
well, hurry up.
Did you have something?
We
You
can
looked like
motion,
you were
you
about
don't
to
have to
say
second
something.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Well, he can
I
motion, we
just
just
have
don't
one
second yet.
change that I saw, because I looked at it, sorry, Unreal. I looked at it, and then I said it was fine, and then I saw, well, something was brought to my attention about, the restaurants, being required to have a grade A, or else the funds are clawed back. Do y'all think that's too restrictive to make them maintain an A? But what are the ratings? Is there like an A plus, A minus, or is it just A, B, C, D?
C, D, and it's on a point scale, but you want restaurants to be at an A, and that up there in the point. That's just basically based upon the severity of the hazard, they reduce down in points.
Well, and I'm all about clean restaurants and all that kind of stuff, but I just don't know the process. Like, is it a situation where they come in and they give a rating and it's not quite an A, but they give them time to remedy that, and then, you know, they go back and say, okay, now it is what it is. So how does that fit into this? I just don't want it to be the point where, well, we came in one time randomly and it's not exactly right, and it really wasn't something that big of a deal, and then, oh, have to take all the funds back.
Paul actually is going to speak on that.
Okay.
Absolutely, yeah. So, so your question is about the health
I'm
inspection
really
rating
about
related
I'm really
to the restaurants?
I'm concerned that if it's just like an automatic, not an A, you're failing, we're taking the money back, like that creates a whole lot of work for the city.
Right,
it's
yeah.
like, you know what I mean? It just causes like a big mess if we don't have an opportunity for the restaurant to remedy whatever the situation may be.
Absolutely.
Right.
And I do agree with you. I think the language may be a bit strong about it will enact the clawback provisions. I think changing that language to may enact that. And plus we're working with our inspectors to find out, well, what was the issue? What are the causes? And then kind of work with the incentive applicant on that. But for sure, I think toning it back down to more of a may than a will.
Yeah, it just felt a little strong. That's
Right,
all.
right.
But I am definitely want to see, you know, cleanliness and, you know, all that.
Oh, I agree.
Wonderful,
And
all those
especially if
wonderful things.
they are applying for an incentive from the city and they want us to be an investment partner, we should make sure that they give us and deliver a quality product, because it's taxpayer dollars that's being invested in this. So I felt that the A was very critical in that component, but I think bringing it down instead of a will get revoked, may get revoked.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that.
Okay.
Who's making that decision?
Yeah.
On the health inspection?
Revoke.
The revoke.
So say, it's, yeah.
Okay, so if that does occur, then that will be known to us, and then we'll either approach permitting or public services and find out what the issues were on that. And then at that time, we will hopefully have the members of the the Alvin Economic Development Advisory Council. So we'll have them we can approach and say, this has been an issue. And if the recipient says, well, we don't want to remedy this, we're fine with having a B or a C grading, then the Alvin Economic Development Advisory Council will then make their recommendation, and I'll bring that before city management and the city council. But I would want to work with them to say, like, hey, it's just a light bulb you need to replace, or if it's something minor, right? If it's a minor thing that they can rectify, and I'm sure we'll work with them on that.
Okay, great. Anyone else? Chris?
We got it.
Entertain a motion.
Mayor Pro Tem, move to approve Resolution 24R31, adopting the Economic Development Incentive Policy for the City of Alvin, Texas, and setting forth other matters related thereto.
Second.
Please vote.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, council.
Thank you, Paul. Alrighty, item D, consider an award of bid B2403 to Scohill Construction Services LLC in an amount not to exceed, hold on, $2,607,000. Is there another, I need a clarification on this. There's a comma behind here. Look at item D, is that $2,607,859? Okay, $2,600,859 for the waterline improvements Phase 4 project, and authorize the city manager to sign the contract upon legal review.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem and Council. This is our fourth phase of 7 phases that were recommended by our 2015 Utility Master Plan to provide improvements to our water system, mainly to replace small diameter water lines, which will increase fire flow capacity and improve water quality and provide better connectivity within our system. This particular project is basically bounded by the area of Blum Street, Johnson Street, South Street, and Callaway Drive. And it was funded through our water and sewer revenue bonds in 2022 and 2023. 210 calendar day project. We estimate that it will start in November. Scohill's Construction actually did the first water line, phase 1 water line improvements, did an excellent job on it, and actually came in under budget. So we highly recommend them for this phase. And this is a fairly large project. 18,750 linear feet of water line will be replaced. This is the largest
project that they did down South Street already. They've done a portion of it, put new fire hydrants in, and
that was the other phase, another phase
Okay.
of it.
Any questions?
Mayor Pro Tem, move to award bid B2403 to Scohill Construction Services LLC in an amount not to exceed $2,607,859 for the water line improvements Phase 4 project, and authorize city manager to sign the contract upon legal review.
Second.
Please vote.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, Michelle. Item E, consider an award a bid to Scohill Construction Services LLC for the Alvin South Bypass 35 water line replacement project, B2407, in an amount not to exceed $232,628, and authorize the city manager to sign the contract upon legal review.
Okay. This was actually bid as alternate B on the Waterline Phase 4 project. And the reason we did that is, one, to kind of consolidate projects versus bidding them separately. As bidding it as alternate, we get better pricing. So this project is 1,600 linear feet, and it's replacing the 8-inch line that's along the west side of Bypass 35 between Fairway and Jepson. We've had numerous leaks on it. It's reached its life expectancy and needs to be replaced. And this will be funded by the CDBG grant that was awarded to the city last October. So it's 100% grant funded through them.
It's the first time I've ever seen a note on one of the agendas where it says construction must be completed by a specific date.
Yes,
What's the reason for that?
Yes, sir. That's due to the grant, the stipulations of the grant. They awarded it October 1st of last year. Of course, we had to go through the design phase, bid phase to get where we're at today. And the project had to be approved through them and vetted. There was some environmental that has to go on. It has to be in an area that's low to mod income. So we had that project vetted, and then that contract is you have to start construction and if we're not quite complete by the end of the calendar year, they typically don't penalize us as long as we're working towards completion and pulling money off that grant through invoices.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Entertain a motion.
Mayor Pro Tem, move to award a bid to Scohill Construction Services LLC for the Alvin South Bypass 35 water line replacement project, B2407, in an amount not to exceed $232,628, and authorize the city manager to sign the contract upon legal review.
Please vote.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, Michelle. Now to item F. Consider a contract with CSA Construction, Inc. in an amount not to exceed $2,269,460.27 to provide construction manager at risk construction phase services for the wastewater treatment plant expansion and improvements project, and authorize the city manager to sign the contract upon legal review.
Thank you. As you'll recall, back on June 15th of 2023, we entered into a design services contract with CSA to be our construction manager at risk to do our treatment plant expansion project. Now, since design is at 100%, we're ready to essentially bid the remainder of the plant expansion. We are going into a construction phase services contract with them. And as a first phase, they are actually needing to procure equipment. The pieces of equipment that will be purchased will be the 2 generators that are required and the 2 rotary drum thickeners, which are part of the process equipment. The reason we want to go ahead and acquire these is due to the long lead time and to hold pricing. The generators are going to take approximately 64 weeks to arrive, and the rotary drum thickeners are taking 55 weeks to arrive. So we would like to go ahead and start the construction contract. There will be no construction or installation. It would just be to purchase this equipment so that it's here within the right timing within our 3-year construction time frame for the overall project. Now, the remainder of the plant, contractor is ready to go out for bid. They'll be receiving bids, and in January, we'll bring towards another amendment to this contract, and that will be for the pricing to do the actual construction on the plant and all remaining items on the plant expansion. So that's when the big dollars will be spent, the 70+ million estimated that we had talked about and is being bonded for over the next few years. Like I say, this is just to procure the equipment.
It says for CSA Construction, but we get that equipment, it's ours?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any questions? Motion?
All right, move to approve a contract with CSA Construction Incorporated in an amount not to exceed $2,269,460.27 to provide a construction manager at risk construction phase services for the wastewater treatment plant expansion and improvements project, and authorize the city manager to sign the contract upon legal review.
Second.
Please vote.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. Now, item H, consider if any requests from individual council members for an item or items to be placed on the upcoming agenda for the next regularly scheduled meeting.
Nothing.
No?
No, sir.
All righty. Reports from the city manager.
Yes, Mayor Council, the City Council will interview candidates for the boards and commission on Thursday, November 14th at 6:30 p.m. If anyone is interested in serving on a board or commission, applications are due Monday, November 11th. The applications can be submitted through our online portal or downloaded through our website, or you can just go to the city secretary's office and pick up an application. Secondly, early voting begins October 21st and ends November 1st. The polling location is the Alvin Library. And then on next Tuesday, October 22nd, is the Alvin State of the City Chamber Luncheon. It will be held at Casey Hall starting at 11:30 a.m. And lastly, the Trick or Treat Trail will be held Thursday, October 31st at National Oak Park from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. That's all I have, Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you. And now items of community interest. Martin?
No, sir. Nothing.
All righty. We will now convene to executive session. Time is 8 o'clock. Y'all together say the time, reconvene? Yeah, we are. Come on. Oh, wait. Now reconvene to open session. The time is 8:23. I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move to approve the city manager's recommendation for the appointment of Tina Rodriguez as the Human Resource Director for the city of Alvin.
Second. Please vote.
Who was that again? What's her first name?
It says Tina.
Oh, hold on. I have one job. Okay.
You have a lot of.
Motion passes unanimously.
Congratulations, Tina. We are adjourned.